It's Friday, and that means our economics editor, Stephen Keppel, is in our studio today. How are you, Stephen?
Great, good.
Glad to have you here, and it's been a very busy week economically and politically as well. Let's start with the politics. Herman Cains, the Republican candidate, is topping the polls this week, and everyone is talking about his 999 economics plan. Sure. What is your expert take on this plan, and will it work?
Yeah, I've been looking into it, and there's been a lot written about it this week, actually, the big 999 plan that everybody's so crazy about. Basically, it's a 9% sales tax, a 9% income tax, and a 9% business tax, corporation tax.
Okay.
The reason it's popular is it's a flat tax, and again, it's simple to understand. The downside of this tax is that it's regressive, and it actually puts more tax on the poor and middle class than it does on the rich. And this is because of mainly because of the sales tax, which would get the 9% sales tax would be added onto a state tax, and also at the moment, about 50% of Americans aren't paying any federal income tax, so they would pay under the 999 plan. They would have to pay this tax. So, in essence, good for the rich, bad for the poor.
So we'll still see if we're still talking about 999 next week if Herman Cains' surge continues. And another big political / economic story this week was the TLC with Colombia, Panama, and South Korea. Tell us about that, and will that benefit the U.S. and those countries, especially Colombia?
Yeah, sure. The TLC in Spanish, or the FTA in English.
Right.
They've been ongoing for quite a while. They've been held up there past this week. This is good for U.S. exporters. They'll be able to export cars and such to Korea and Colombia and a number of other goods. Actually, there was an agreement that Colombia was already sending many of its goods without tariffs to the United States. So, I mean, this is, I think, probably a little bit more positive for the U.S. But Colombia overall and Panama, it's good for them. It shows that their economies are strong and growing and robust, and it's a boost for the governments of Colombia and Panama as well.
Now, Stephen travels almost every week. We're always talking about your travels for some reason, and this week you went to Costa Rica to a forum on microfinance. So why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about that?
Yeah, I was in San Jose at the Inter-American Development Bank's forum on microenterprise, and there are a couple interesting themes that I wrote about this week. But there was a big focus on women as entrepreneurs, which I thought was really cool, and helping to take women who have these kind of small micro businesses, maybe selling in markets or things like that, and really developing into small and medium-sized businesses that pay taxes and hire workers, and really empowering women and small business owners in Latin America. So that was really cool. We got to interview the president of the Inter-American Development Bank. They had a lot of interesting things to say about Latin America. They're kind of positioning it as a growing region in sort of an uncertain global environment. But it'll be interesting to see how Latin America does. And it was cool to spend some time and talk to some entrepreneurs in Costa Rica.
And we look forward to your fresh takes on economics next week. We urge you to look at our Tumblr page, and of course follow us on Twitter at Univision News.